buttons. What a night. Do you guys have daylight savings time in Canada? I don't know if other countries have it. I've never looked that up. Lily, do you have daylight savings time in Australia, or is that an American thing? It's no bueno. It really messes with your sleep patterns. Oh, you do have it. Okay. So you were up an hour earlier today too. Well, good to have you back, Lucas. You still comment. I still see your comments, even if you haven't been able to join us live. Good to have you here. Hey, Lizzie. I guess it's like afternoon where you are. Oh, thank you, Nicole. I didn't put on foundation today, so I guess glowy is a word. I think my face looks a little red and shiny because I didn't do the perfect foundation and powder stuff. I just couldn't be bothered. I was out late last night at a concert and yeah. Wasn't sure if I'd make it up in time for the live today. Hi, Jarrell. Good morning. So we're going to be talking about work and rest. Angela says, glowing with the light of God. Lily says, Catherine, I had a failed version of noodles. I fail at making a lot of stuff. Food is definitely one of them. Good morning, Derek. Finley, how are you, Finley? You just have to learn from your mistakes and try again later, right? No matter what it is, a test or... Lizzie says it's 3 p.m. Clocks don't change here until Mother Day here. Mother Nature's probably what she meant. That's lovely. That's way better for your body. They really try to mess with us here sometimes. I don't know. Not good. So, some people, you know, sometimes there's just like pendulum of like people on this end of like, work hard, grind, never sleep, I'll sleep when I'm dead. That used to be me. Hey, Rodrigo. And then you've got a group of people that are, hey, Lauren, more like laid back. Hey, Mira, resting, relaxing, always planning to hang out with their friends, always planning their life around fun. And so do you think we should be somewhere in the middle? Do you think these workaholics should swing back and get a little more rest? I'm one of them. Do you think the chillax people, good morning, Karen, hey, Rafaela, who live a life of leisure, who live for pleasure, should swing back this way? Muhammad, I'm 5'4" and 3/4 almost. I'm almost 5'5". I don't know what that is in centimeters. Somebody can calculate that for me. Round it up to 5'5". Why not? I got shoes on. I'm 5'5". So I'm trying to do better at getting my rest because I used to work my fingers to my bone till I was so exhausted I would be crying. YR says, hello, Katherine Norland, the best Karen on Dhar Mann. You guys, I just did a reaction video with Rebecca Ritz. Lily says I'm 164 centimeters. Okay. And we did like a Karen thing for the reaction video. Sakib, good morning and happy Sunday. Hello, Paradise Earth. So that should be coming out. I've shot 2 reaction videos for Dhar Mann's new reaction channel. Doesn't look like they've started posting the reaction videos yet. Not sure what they're waiting for, but they're constantly busy with so much stuff. So maybe they figure it's not the right time. Hey, Katie Volt. Is the live an hour early today? Okay, so we were just talking about that. Editing lakes. America does this, and so does Canada apparently, this dumb thing about making us wake up an hour early one day in the spring, screwing us up for a week till we can get acclimated to it. It's not a good idea to drive on the Sunday that this happens because it's going to be, or Monday, it's going to be a lot of tired drivers on the road. And then in the fall, they make us mess up our schedule again. Not as bad though, because then we fall back. We lose an hour of time. Or no, today we lost an hour. In the fall, we gain an hour. I don't know, it's dumb. Hey, Mike, that's my opinion. It messes with your body's natural cycles. We should just, like Lizzie said, let Mother Nature take care of that. Hey, Lucas, is this Lucas Lee or is this a different Lucas signed in under someone's name? Yes, the clocks have gone back. I'm sorry for those who don't follow this silly stuff we do here. So this is talking about kind of finding that balance, because I used to believe work is like all there is. Well, like in high school, it was friends are all there is. I just needed acceptance. No, I haven't. I've seen some of the Twilight movies. I don't know if that's the same thing as the Twilight Saga. Hi, Enrisha. So it was all about my friends. It was all about needing that acceptance. It was all about, do people like me? And then something happened. I'm not sure what. Thank you, Rodrigo. And there was this like shift that happened. You know what? I know what the shift was. It was finding out what my purpose in life was. Do you guys know what your purpose in life was? Because when I found out what my purpose in life was, somebody says work is important because you can pay for bills and you can maybe get your child some food whenever in business you are working. You get supplies to help you. Very true. Very true. And so working, so I find out what my purpose is, and then I started working non-stop. I would be up at 5 or 6 in the morning and be working till like midnight. Thank you, cool girl. And I had to stop that when I had a child. I couldn't keep up those hours anymore, and the burnout. And you guys know when you're working that long, that many hours, and that hard, you're not really making the right decisions. Like your brain is overdone. Is it your purpose of living here that counts and empowers you to work harder and clear hurdles? Yes, but we're also going to be talking about taking time to rest, because those of us who are workaholics, guilty, I don't know if any of you guys are, and don't stop, and you're like, I'll sleep when I'm dead. That's who I'm talking to today. So I felt like, because my teen years and my early 20 years, hey Mona, hey Taha, I wasted. I wasn't doing anything towards my goals or my purpose in life, that I thought I had to make up for it. I'm getting out of that now. I thought I had to like go back and show God how much like I'm sorry for wasting the first 20 to 25 years you gave me on earth, and now I gotta make up for it. So 16-hour days was like no problem, because I gotta make up for all these other years. But it caused burnout, and it caused me to make, thank you, cool girl, make bad decisions, right? When you're overtired, you make bad decisions. SH12 says, how do Americans pronounce the phrase nor does? Is it pronounced like nors? Example, he doesn't smoke, nor does he drink. Sorry for this irreverent subject. It's okay. Hey, Katherine, saw your vlog about how to win at life and felt it really motivated me. So I'm here to hear more from you. Well, welcome. Thank you for watching, and we appreciate new people here. CJ absolutely loves watching the videos. We've got Angel here, Rafaela. Did I say your name right? Greetings from Brazil. Welcome. So you don't have to make up for lost time. if you align your purpose with God, God will make up for the lost time. He will bring you the shortcut that you need. You stay in tune, you stay prayed up, and every day, she said, bad decisions are made when we are tired. Do you guys know there's actually such a thing called decision fatigue? I was talking with one of my clients this week, and he didn't know what he was talking about. So I only have one coaching client that lives in California. So he needed an in-person consult for hours. I was helping him with a bunch of stuff he had to do, and it was based on decisions and decision making. And he had never heard of decision fatigue, and I probably should have looked at more of the specifics on it so I could tell you guys about it. But there's a point we all have to, is it hard to watch your kids while working in Dhar Mann? Well, I get a sitter, just like any mom who goes to work. I just have to have a sitter on days when I'm there. But there's a thing called decision fatigue, and there's a point in the day where after your brain has made however many number of decisions, maybe it's around 300, your brain just kind of stops, kind of shuts down. You guys know that point in the day where you're studying or doing homework and suddenly your brain is like kind of dazed, kind of confused. And you guys who are typing in questions, a very normal blushing bearded dragon, I'm going to get to your questions in a bit. I like to do a little like topical teaching stuff before I get to the questions. So I'll ask you to type them back in again. So your brain gets to a certain number of decisions for the day, and then it's done. It can't do anymore. That's why I like to do my writing like 6 a.m. 6 to 8 usually. Then everybody's usually up at 8 and it's hard to focus. So your most important decisions should be made earlier in the day. That's why a lot of geniuses or smart people or innovative people, they would eat the same breakfast every day. They don't want to get up and have to make a decision. Am I going to have oatmeal? Am I going to have toast? Am I going to have avocado toast? Am I going to have an omelet? Am I going to... That's taking away from the decisions. They already have to make all these big important decisions during the day. So I know I get up, I'm going to have lemon or lime water, I'm going to make some, I'm going to have juice, and then I'm going to have smoothie. And I kind of know. That's it, like, I don't have to think about all the different things. And you guys who are asking me questions, I will get to those when I'm done talking. Steve Jobs. Remember, he would always wear those black turtlenecks. You guys know who he is? He was one of the founders of Apple, iPhones, iPads, iMacs. So, hey, Savannah, he always wore those black turtlenecks. I think Albert Einstein, too, had only like the same clothes in his closet. Yes, big decisions should be made in the morning. You guys never make big, important decisions when you're tired. How many people do we know make bad decisions when they're tired? And add emotional to tiredness, it is a recipe for disaster. I hate to bring up a morbid subject, but you know how many people decide to end their life because they're emotional, something terrible has happened, they've been done wrong, something has gone wrong, somebody's broken up with them, they lost their job, whatever, they're fatigued, they're emotional, the end of the day, and they make this decision. You guys, I have a rule that I never, ever make life decisions, big, important life decisions, when I'm tired or when I'm emotional. When that happens, you guys, you have to step away from the problem, step away from the issue. No, it's not always going to be like this. No, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. No, this is not the way it's always going to be. Step away, clear your mind, go eat your favorite meal. Eat a big hearty meal. And I'm not talking about emotional eating, but there's been studies done that show when the glycogen stores in your brain are depleted, you don't make good decisions. Your body, all 100 trillion or 70 to 100 trillion cells in your body run on glucose. There's this big misnomer out there that our brain runs on fat. It doesn't. Yes, there's a little fat in our brain, but you guys, there's enough fat and protein in every fruit and vegetable you eat. You don't have to worry about, I gotta get my healthy fats in. Excess fats clog up the body. They make the viscosity of your blood thicker, which makes it harder to move the blood through your arteries. And if your arteries are already clogged from eating animal products, meat and dairy and cheeses and all that stuff, then you've got a narrowing spot for them to get through. And then if your blood is thick, it's like drinking jelly out of a straw. It's causing your heart to work so much harder. It's the same with dehydration. Have you guys had your lemon or lime water first thing this morning? You got to rehydrate. I know this sounds weird because I'm supposed to be talking about work and rest and decision fatigue, but your health is tied into that. People who think it doesn't matter what you put in your body and it's not going to affect your brain are incorrect. So the studies that have been done on glycogen stores dropping, it's important for you guys to don't feel bad if you want to have a snack, an apple, some carrot sticks, some dates every 90 minutes to 2 hours, because that's when our stores run out. When you run out of glycogen, your body switches over and it starts to run on adrenaline. And that's what people are running on when they drink coffee. It's not good. It causes adrenal fatigue and burnout. Okay, so when your body's low on glycogen, you can't make good decisions. So the study that was done, and I don't have it here to cite it, showed that when you had full glycogen stores, then you make better decisions. And when you go through stressful things in life, you guys get stressed out. If your glycogen stores are full, you have enough. You make better decisions. You have all the things you need to make better decisions. So some of you may be saying, what the heck is glycogen? So it's from eating things that have glucose in them, right? Fruit is great. Fruit, potatoes, squash, starches, millet, oats. That's where you're going to get glucose. And they get into your body even better if you pair them. Hey, Benjamin, I was born with 2 different color eyes. If you pair them with mineral salts. What the heck is mineral salts? What food do we have mineral salt? I don't mean sprinkling Himalayan sea salt on your food. I mean eating vegetables. That's where we get our mineral salts. That helps us get the glycogen into our body better. Okay, so now your brain's firing in all cylinders because you're having a snack every 2 hours. You're not punishing yourself and going, I need to wait 5 hours in between meals and I shouldn't snack between. When you don't snack, you're doing your body a disservice because you start to run low and you get tired and you have no energy. And then you think, oh, this was me. I'm guilty. I need my dark chocolate and my green tea every afternoon. It's my pick-me-up. And I would do that instead of eating. That's so silly. Just have an apple. Have 2 apples. Have 3 apples. You guys know they have done studies that show, maybe it's not plural studies, but they have done at least one study on how an apple can wake you up more than coffee. Try that because coffee is burning out your adrenals. I know everybody's addicted to coffee. I'm watching teenagers walk around like zombies with their Starbucks. We don't need that, right? So we're making proper decisions because we're balancing our work and rest and we're getting glucose. We're not making bad decisions based on, yes, Lily, you love your coffee. So I'm just going to read a little something about rest. It's not some big scientific thing, but remember I read one passage from this book, yes, go get your glycogen, Brittany. lemon water, and then get your glycogen. The double diamond principle. 58 secrets of success in the life of Jesus. So Jesus took time to rest. That is number 5. He didn't work 24/7. He didn't just say, I can't sleep. There's 800 more people in line that need miracles. I can't go to sleep because all these blind need to see, and all these, I need to like heal all the people that aren't walking, and I need to heal all the people with cancer. He took time to rest. If he can do it, we can do it, because we don't have the power he has. We are like these humans that have a lot of issues, right? Fatigue can be costly. One notable president of the United States absolutely knew this. He absolutely refused to make any major decision after 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Here's a quote. Tired minds rarely make good decisions. How many of you are guilty? I'm the first to raise my hand, of making terrible decisions when I'm tired. Even with something simple like, and studies have shown this too, you eat more junk food when you're tired. How many of you guys are like dead tired and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna make a salad? Says no one, ever. Right? I'm gonna chop up all of these vegetables. No, you're like, give me that bag of chips. I don't feel like I'm ordering a pizza and they're bringing it to me, right? It can be decisions in any area of life though, right? I'm gonna quit. I'm not going back. I'm exhausted. I don't need this. Tired minds rarely make good decisions. One bad decision can create countless tragedies. One bad decision can create countless tragedies. How many of you guys know that? My friend was 17, riding in the car with her parents when a semi-truck smashed into them, driven by a drunk driver. One bad decision to drink alcohol and then drive your semi-truck made my friend an orphan. When she was 17, she lost both her parents. The only reason she didn't die is because she was asleep. Thank you for the gift, Elena. She was asleep in the back seat, and I guess the paramedics or whoever said because she wasn't like strapped in tight, she didn't, I don't know, there's something where you brace yourself and your whole body gets rigid. She kind of just went with the impact and back. I don't know exactly, but point is, one bad decision can create countless tragedies, and it spirals. It spirals because, so that's one person's bad decision, but that affected her. Okay, she did not want to be put in foster care. She did not want to have that, but she's running from the police. She's pretending to be 18 when she's not, so she doesn't have to get put in foster care. She's making bad decisions. She's trying to live in her parents' house and go to high school and not let anyone know, and bills are coming in that she does not have a job for and no money to pay. She's getting kicked out. She's hiding at friends' houses. She's hooking up with men to protect her or take care of her or to pay her bills or to do whatever. She goes on to make a series of bad decisions because one person chose to get in his truck after drinking. So I could say her life spiraled. She was homeless, living in a tent with a 3-year-old, on and on and on. Because one person made a bad decision. Okay. Rest time is repair time. I used to think rest was a waste of time. Rest time is repair time. And I heard a great, is it called analogy? I always get analogy mixed up with, anyway, I think it's called analogy, not a metaphor or a simile. So you guys are giving and receiving. So I heard a great analogy about giving and receiving because I've been trying to get better. Anna did. I prefer vegetarian food to non-vegetarian food, but technically plant-based. I don't do the dairy either. So if you're giving and receiving, and you guys think of that as like exchange, time, money, things like that. And I was able to get over receiving gifts from people like Elena, thank you. I used to, when people would offer me things or, oh, I'll pay for dinner, I used to never let anybody. And I think that stemmed from like worthiness issues, not thinking I was worthy of anyone paying anything to me or giving me gifts or whatever. But I would always pay and I would always give gifts. But there was something in me that had a worthiness thing where I didn't feel like I should get that. So the analogy I heard about giving and receiving was about work and rest. So work time, if you're working, that's your giving time. You're being productive, you're working. And receiving, that's your rest time. You got to fill yourself back up. You can't pour out. A lot of people who serve the homeless or who are in ministry or who have nonprofits burn themselves out because their whole life is giving, and they never do anything to get back. They never refill their empty cup. They're pouring out of their pitcher on every thirsty person, but they don't know they're dying of thirst. Are you guys dying of thirst? Are you guys pouring out, giving, helping everybody, helping every friend who asks, helping every person with whatever they need, their homework, paying their bills, this or that, and you're not stopping to refill yourself? And yeah, you should take things when you're offered. You know why? Because if you don't, you are robbing them of their blessing, right? The Bible tells us it's better to give than to receive. So that doesn't mean you don't receive, because when we give, God blesses us. So think of it this way. When somebody offers to give you something, not only are you offending them, but you're blocking the blessings that God wants to give to them. If it's more blessed for them to give than receive, like it is for us, you not accepting their gift is blocking them from getting their blessing back from it. So think about that next time you want to say no to someone who wants to do something nice for you. Now, of course, guys, there's always exceptions to every rule. If you've got someone in your life that you know is a manipulator, who just wants to do something, give you something so they can hold it over your head later and say, you owe me, please know the difference. Have discernment. Okay? All right. Rest time is repair time. It is not a loss of productivity. When you are rested, you work better. You make smarter decisions. I see myself sometimes when I'm working past 8 at night, and I've been working since 6 a.m. and I'm kind of like, I gotta get this last pile of paper done. I gotta type in this and I'm like, you guys have to know when to call it quits. When you're not. Thank you, Angela, for the gift. You're so sweet. When you're not at your peak anymore, you gotta pull back. When you're not at your peak, you gotta pull back. I just made that up. That's a good one. Write that down. When you're not at your peak, you gotta pull back, right? Because you're gonna slide down that mountain anyway. If you're not at your peak, you're sliding back. You're typing in the info wrong. You're making your spreadsheets wrong. You're sending some email or text back to someone, and it's like, ooh, like maybe you shouldn't have said that because you're tired and you're just trying to do more. That does not help your productivity. That actually hurts your productivity, right? Can you take a second for school to help us focus more? I'm going to stay on topic now, but maybe we'll get to that, okay? Ask me when I'm done talking about rest. Okay, Jesus knew the necessity of rest. Jesus was a man of action, right? He went out and did stuff. He was an action person. He produced, he healed, he preached, he taught, he walked amongst the people. He was out there doing everything. but he also knew when to stop, right? He also knew the necessity of relaxation, right? He tells us in the book of Mark, come ye yourselves apart into a desert place and rest a while. So he's saying, pull back, get away from the crowds. They're just pulling at you, pulling at you, pulling at you, pulling at you, pulling at you. If you don't, hey Frank, if you don't pull away and get that time for you to rest and refresh, you're gonna be like, I'm out. I can't do this anymore. I give up. I quit. People just want too much from me. I can't do this anymore. Right? You're more likely to quit. And you don't want to quit your calling. Okay. Think about this. Daily, he faced hundreds of sick and afflicted people who screamed for his attention, right? Everywhere he went, they were screaming for his attention. Many were demon possessed. How many of you guys think that maybe some of the people hollering at you these days are demon possessed? I mean, ooh, there's some issues out there. All right, we got SH12, an atheist. Well, welcome. Thank you for being here and for being open-minded. There's nuggets you can take from this and apply it to your life, even if you don't believe in God. So stay tuned, okay? I want you to lead and live a better life and have wonderful things happen for you. So Jesus is just an example I'm using. He's Lord of my life, but we still welcome you if he's not of yours. All right. So people reached for him. The fathers asked him to pray for their children. Children did not want to leave his presence. He had to separate himself to receive. Resting time is receiving time. And if you want to be successful, your success requires both, right? Did you guys see a video I put up a couple Mondays ago about no pain, no gain, and pushing yourself to the limits, not allowing yourself to rest or eat or think. You know, a lot of people think success is all about rise and grind. Remember I talked about that? They took that beautiful saying called rise and shine, and they changed it to rise and grind. Ugh, we were just getting up every day to duke it out, just like another left, right, like, ooh, uppercut. There's a time for that, yes, but there's a time to rest, and you guys have to be equal. You guys, it may not even have to be equal, but you got to find that balance that's right for you. Maria, I don't know if it's available there. You'll have to maybe check in on the website. Elena's going to duke it out on her exam tomorrow. But make sure you're getting enough rest so you can do better. So, for example, God created the earth in 6 days. He took time to rest on the 7th day. That was an example. God didn't need to rest, right? I think there's a scripture that says he never sleeps nor slumbers, but he's the example to us. 6 days he worked, and on the 7th day he rested. That's why it's important to take a day aside to just do what fills you, do what inspires you, commune with your family, your community, commune with your creator, do whatever to refill your stores. You can get burned out if you're not refilling. Okay, we don't want you to burn out. Okay, so you guys have some questions. I'm going to get to them in a couple minutes, I promise. So he set an example for us. That might be the reason he was able to accomplish so much in just 3.5 years. Thank you, Lizzie. Thank you for the gift. Listen to that, you guys. 3.5 years. How is there any other person in history, in the world, in the entire universe that was ever that is still talked about today, whose work span was only 3.5 years? Nobody. There's like no better example to follow about like success and how to be balanced in life and how to make a huge difference and an impact than Jesus, because we're still talking about him 2,000 years later. And he only worked for 3.5 years. Think about that. There's other people in history we're still talking about, but it was their lifetime. How much time did they work? Like, I don't know, who's the oldest like philosopher that we still read about? Aristotle? Is it Socrates? Is it, there's more. I'm blanking on them because I haven't had my glucose yet. I'm still on my lemon water, or lime water today. But nobody had the impact. 3.5 years of work. If I had quit acting after 3.5 years, none of you guys would be here right now. You wouldn't know who the heck I was. So, just an example. Okay. Life is demanding. People are demanding. In fact, the more you succeed, the more people will demand of you. Can you imagine? I think my inbox is full. Can you imagine Dhar Mann's inbox? I'm getting hundreds of messages a week. He's probably getting hundreds of thousands of messages a week, right? Can you imagine the people pulling on him every day to do interviews, write-ups? Look at my script, do this, like, people, help me with this cause, pay to this charity. You guys, I get probably 5 or 10 messages a week of people wanting me to help them with this, pay for this. Dude, can you imagine? Dhar's a multimillionaire, how many he gets? The higher up you go, the more people are yanking on you, pulling on you, expecting things from you, wanting things from you. It's up to you to repair yourself. Work hard, but play just as enthusiastically. Schedule it. Are you guys scheduling time to play? I'm guilty. I'm not scheduling time for fun stuff, but I did last night. Who saw my story? Who saw me take Timmy to his first concert? Okay, I'm scheduling time to play. I'm going to start. I promise. Talking to myself. Today's message is for Katherine, Norland. Thank you for listening to me talk to myself. When you schedule to take a day off, hey Alex, once a week, your mind will think clearer. You will make better decisions. You will see life through different eyes. You will accomplish far more in less time. Yes, it's on Instagram. I just put 3 little moments, but I think I'm going to do a vlog about it. I just don't think I'm allowed to use the music on YouTube. It's a thing. Copyrighted music. Okay. Yes, we made a whole day of it for Timmy yesterday. He was pretty thrilled. Okay. Take a day a week to totally relax. Focus on something completely different than your job. That's hard. Is that hard for you guys? That is hard for me. It is hard for me. Back when I was, a few years ago, when my sole focus, my only focus was acting. I know, Brittany, right? What is fun? I don't know. Maybe fun for a single mom might just be talking on the phone to someone whom they enjoy talking with. That might be considered until you can get out of your house and go roller skating down the street where there's palm trees. I don't know. But whatever fun is for you, take time to schedule it. You know, it could be watching a movie, having some popcorn with your daughter. I don't know. But whatever is fun for you, we have to take time to schedule it. I'm guilty. My husband has no problem scheduling fun, ever. It's like sometimes twice a week, sometimes more. Saturdays, he might be out riding dirt bike. He might be off-roading. He might be camping. Wednesdays, he's skateboarding and having some brewskis with his friends. He's like, and his friends are like, what does your wife do? I don't understand. She's always in her office on the computer whenever we come over. What is she working on? I mean, she's an actress. What is she sitting in her office on the computer for every time we come over? What am I doing? I'm writing books and courses for you guys to teach you. I used to try to schedule time with my friends like 4 times a year, and honestly, it happened maybe twice a year. So I am the most terrible example for you. I am, what's it called? I am a hypocrite. I'm telling you to schedule time for fun, and I'm not doing it. So, but I did it last night, okay? And I'm supposed to have a party. I'm having a party later today, so we're gonna have fun two days in a row, which is monumental for me. And you know what else? I'm being accountable to you guys. I'm going to Las Vegas next month, and it's not for a work purpose. I almost didn't go when the production team, so I went to Las Vegas for a film festival last year, and I won. I won the Bomb Award. Founder's Pick, the woman who started this film festival, told me I was the most outstanding actress in this short film, The Light Dares to Desert Me. Bomb stands for bone of my bone, like top of, like I'm part of her. So they asked me to go back this year. I don't even have a film in the film festival. And I was like, what is the point of going? I'm always like trying to use my time so wisely. I don't even think, I'm like, well, what's the point of going? I don't have a film in the festival. Like, what an idea just to go to have fun. What an idea just to get a break from the kids. Oh my gosh, what an idea just to go to a party, go to a film screening, go to an after party, just go hang out and talk with people. I'm like, I was talking to a couple people. I'm like, I don't know if I should go because like, will I be able to get any work done there? Should I bring my laptop while I'm in my hotel room? And people are like, are you crazy? Just go and enjoy yourself. And I kind of feel like I forgot how to do that. Okay. Oh, this last paragraph is for me. Thank you, Karen. You're so sweet. I just like want to help so many people. I'm like, I have rest later. I'm getting better at the rest, guys. I really am. Okay. Stop your frenetic push for success. This should say, Katherine, stop your frantic push for success. Take time to taste the present. Thank you, Elena. Thank you for the gift. I'm tasting the present right now as I'm tasting your presence. You guys are so sweet and helpful. It's Katherine. Anyone else on here? Should I say your name? Stop your frantic push for success. Take time to taste the present. The fires of desire will always rage within you. You must dominate that rage and focus on it. Learn to relax. Jesus took time to rest. Bam! Bam! I'm going to get that in my thick skull. Okay. Enough of the self-abuse. We're going to do better. I'm ready for your questions. Whatever question I missed, now's your chance. Type it in. Let's answer those burning questions. Is there any way you can buy the book somewhere? Are you talking about the book I just read from? That is written by Mike Murdoch. This guy is prolific. I think he has over 100 books out. He is my role model. Yes, Brittany, go have fun, preferably in another state. Glucose is, you're asking, I talk about it and then can I even describe what it is? It's a nutrient that comes from food. Glucose comes from fruits and some vegetables. Fruits, starchy vegetables, potatoes, quinoa, squash, millet, rice. Fill up your glycogen stores so you can make better decisions. Via says when you're in a state of anger and frustration, that is not the time to make big life-changing decisions. Yes. What are some examples of such decisions? Well, you guys know, should I quit my job or not quit my job when I'm mad at my boss? Probably shouldn't make that decision when you're mad at your boss, right? That happened at Dhar Mann. I don't think he was mad at Dhar, but one of the directors showed up for work that day, and then something happened and something was said by the security person. I don't really know. I don't know. I shouldn't be speaking about it. But one of the directors, one of the crew people just decided they were going to leave. They were upset about something. They were mad about something. Don't make decisions when you're mad. Don't make any decisions when you're tired. Don't make decisions when you're in a heightened state of any kind of emotion. People in Las Vegas gambling. Woo! You hear the bells, you hear the chimes, you hear the ding 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 ding. Somebody's winning money, ding 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 ding, and it's like causing dopamine in your brain, and it's going crazy. Oh, someone just won. I'm gonna put more money in the slot machine. Cha-ching! You're hearing these sounds. It's like this whole like heightened state of awareness, and you're making these decisions, right? Brittany said if I had $1 for every time Katherine told me to eat your glucose, I would be rich. So eat your glucose, peeps. That's right. Get your glucose in. Look, somebody look up the word, what glucose is. Look up the dictionary definition and post it here. I'll read it if you do. And then we can all know what it is. Like I know what it's in, but I don't know how to explain to you guys what it is. How do I control my anger? Mike, very good question. I've done a video on that topic here on my channel. Type in Katherine Norland, put in the word anger, see what comes up. I've done at least one video, maybe two. And if your anger has gotten you in trouble with someone, watch my other video called, I think it's called 5 Tips on How to Make Up with Someone After a Fight. It's very important. It's very important. Okay, you're angry because it's stemming from something else. That's just a reaction. I don't want to say all, I don't want to be definitive like that. Most emotions we feel come out of not necessarily even what happened, but how can I say this? What we're saying to ourselves about what happened, right? So we have to separate the two. There's what happened, and then there's what we think or say about what happened. Hey, Gazelle. So let's just keep with this. Oh, here we go, glucose. A simple sugar which is an important energy source in living organisms and is a component of many carbohydrates, a syrup containing glucose and other sugars. Okay, we all like sugar, right? Now you're allowed to have it, just not refined sugar, okay? You guys can have it in apples and pears and oranges and watermelon and winter squash and acorn squash and butternut squash and potatoes, red potatoes, white potatoes, russet potatoes, sweet potatoes, millet, corn, rice, quinoa, grits. Just don't put a lot of fat on it, okay? Potatoes aren't the problem. It's the, Brittany says, and Oreos. It's the butter and the cheese and the bacon bits you put on the potato that's the problem. The potato isn't the problem. People are vilifying carbohydrates when that's what every cell on our body runs off of. We need our carbohydrates. The problem is when we put so much fat on it, we're slathering it with butter. That becomes a problem because the fat cells clog up your arteries and don't allow the glucose to get into your cells where they're needed, right? This is where diabetics have a problem. People blame and vilify the sugar and say, oh, I can't have fruit, but the fruit's not the problem. It's you got so much fat in remember we talked about the thick viscosity when you have too much fat in your diet? the sugar, the fruit sugar, the glucose cannot get into your cells where it's needed when your body's clogged up with fat. Elena says on chocolate chip cookies. So I'm glad you guys are saying cookies and things. Let's make the distinction. We're talking about clean, critical carbohydrates. We're not talking about pastries. And I know, I love pastries, but they're half carbohydrates, half fat. Brittany says, sweet potatoes and brown sugar have been my favorite things to eat lately. Yeah, I was on that kick for a long time. That's perfect. You're not adding like butter. That stops the glycogen from getting to your cells. So you know do you guys know how it's easy to eat like an entire can of Pringles or an entire bag of chips? And it's so easy, but you cannot overeat potatoes, right? 2, maybe 3 potatoes and you are maxed out. But why can you keep eating potato chips? Well, number 1, they've taken all the water out of it. Number 2, they've taken all the fiber out of it. Number 3, it's so loaded with fat, your body's not getting the signal that you're getting the glucose. You're having a hard time getting glucose to your brain. When you don't get glucose to your brain, your body is asking for more. It needs more. It needs more because it doesn't have enough glucose. The fat is getting in the way. It's also hard on your liver. Guys, your liver, we don't give our liver enough credit. I'm reading a book this thick right now on the liver. It's amazing all the stuff the liver does. You would never know. So a lot of things people go, oh, I can't have carbs. They're so bad for me. Pizza, yes. Danishes, cookies, breads, pasta, whatever, yes. Fruit, you could be diabetic and eat 30 pieces of fruit a day and your A1C levels could be fine if you're keeping less than 10% fat in your diet. Some people may need to go down to 5%. So it's not about the fruit causing the problems, it's the fat that blocks the clean carbohydrates from getting to our cells and our liver and our brain and everything. So it's all tied in. Okay, liver organ only found in vertebrates, which performs many essential biological functions. Okay, SH12, I walk every day like 9 kilometers. I drink 5 cups of coffee with extra sugar and never get fat at all. Yeah, well, sugar's not going to make you fat, but please lay off on the coffee. You're going to burn out your adrenal glands. It's really, see, gosh, you guys were on this topic. You don't want to be running off adrenaline. You really don't want to be running off adrenaline. That is not good for your body. If you guys want, next week I can talk about adrenaline more, but so some people like coffee because it creates a diuretic effect for them. It forces them to go number 2. If you guys don't know what number 2 is, look it up. But that's adrenaline is what goes through like prey when a hunter preys. So you see a deer sees like a lion is going to get it or a hunter's going to shoot it. The adrenaline pumps. It empties out its bowels so it can run faster. When your body's running on adrenaline, like coffee, caffeine, tea, dark chocolate, cacao, whatever you're drinking, caffeine, energy drinks, those are the worst. Cut them out of your life, right? Most fruit has vitamin C, Mike, most of it, especially orange ones. But people don't know bell peppers actually have more vitamin C than oranges. Fun fact. So your body's running on adrenaline. That's going to eventually make you crash. You don't want to do that. Okay. What is something you wish you could change in your career? How much I get paid? So I don't have to work as hard, so I can rest. Hello? I need a raise. Okay. Lexine. Hi, Catherine. I just joined the live. I love your videos. I hope to meet you one day, and I hope you'll reach 1 million subscribers. Oh, thank you. I hope so too. That would be really cool. Elena says pineapple juice is the best juice to drink. It has more vitamin C than orange juice. And if you add lime to it, it's really tasty. That sounds good. I have not tried that combination. Did you see the recent Dhar Mann video with the Indian wedding? I have not seen that one. There's a couple I haven't seen yet. I try to watch them a couple days a week and catch up on them. How do I reduce my weight? I am 90 kilograms. I am getting muscle when working out, but the process is really slow. How to reduce it quicker? I apologize if this has turned into a nutrition channel today. Cut down the fats, for real. And are you getting enough water? Are you getting enough fruits and vegetables without... Guys, don't cook in oil. Do not cook in oil. Saute your vegetables in water. Steam your vegetables. If you want more flavor, use vegetable broth to saute your vegetables. Okay? Focus on that. Focus on that. Who was it? Who was it that asked me? Dan. Focus on... Have smoothies. Don't be putting avocado and coconut oil and almond butters in your smoothies. You want the glycogen to get to where it needs to go and not to be blocked by the fat. Don't be a fat blocker. Okay? Elena said, I stopped cooking oil and I use an air fryer for baking my chicken and fish. Okay, good. That's a great step in the right direction. A lot of people are duped to be on these like high protein diets that they think are going to make them lose weight, but they don't know. They don't understand that, oh, Yossi, oh, this is Laura Lee. I'm like, oh, Yossi, I see a Yossi name come up. Thank you. And this is something we've been talking about too. A lot of people think that a high protein diet is high protein, but it's also, people don't realize it's also high fat. So even if you take your meat and you cut all the fat, visible fat off of it, you don't know that it is marbled throughout the meat. And when you're eating a high animal protein diet, you're also eating a high fat diet. Okay, Elaine says being healthy is a mixture of eating and the right exercise. It's also a mixture of hydration and getting enough rest. It's a bunch of stuff. Catherine, do you reply to your fans' DMs? I'm pretty good about it. A lot of you guys tell me I'm the only one from Dhar Mann who answers. Please wear... You know what, the boss? I think you told me this last week, and I was almost going to do this whole thing. So you told me I would look cooler if I wore black sunglasses. So tune in next week. Tune in next week when we're going to do a thing with sunglasses. I'm not even tell you how many pairs of sunglasses I have. We're going to do next week with a little modeling show with some sunglasses. We're going to tie it into a lesson. You guys who've done my You Are Worthy course are going to know what I'm going to touch on with the sunglasses, don't you? You're going to be ahead of the game. Please wear black sunglasses. You will look cooler and more beautiful. Wow! Why did I think of that? Thank you, boss. We're going to do that next week, just for you and for everybody else who's going to learn what I'm going to teach on that topic. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. All right. Okay, so you guys, we use water now and not oils, and we really enjoy our food so much better when we don't use oils. That is a good point, Lizzie. You will actually enjoy your food more. Your taste buds change. Some say after about 10 days, your taste buds change. So if you guys are wanting to lower your oils, get rid of your oils, lower your salt intake, try it for 10 days. Your body will start to, after you've gotten like all the really salty stuff out, you'll start to taste the mineral salts that are already in the vegetables. And the vegetables and the fruit and all that, it has more flavor when you keep the fat out. Oh, Lily asks, How do you deal with criticism and not cry? Okay, Lily, that answer is also tied in to the answer I gave about the anger thing. It's not really what happens to you, it's what you're saying to yourself about it. What are you saying? So when someone says, you're no good, you're not smart, you're not enough, you need to be skinny, you're not this, you're not that, there's what they said and there's what you make it mean and what you tell yourself about it. So someone just comes up to you and says something, okay, they just said something. Some people who are secure in themselves and they know who they are just going to go, okay, well, whatever. You know, when I used to get told at auditions, you're too fat, you're too pale, you're too old, you're too whatever, it used to crush me. I used to be like, oh my God, I should quit acting. I'm not good enough. I'm never gonna make it. I'm da 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 da. You know? But then I got to the point where I realized, what the heck? It's just their opinion. You know, and I have a director say, oh, it's a couple years ago, you need to lose 20 pounds to do this role. And I was like, read the script. I was like, well, it doesn't say she's like in a prison camp. Doesn't say this character's anorexic. There's nothing in the script that would indicate how much this character has to weigh. So I just said to the director, no, I'm not going to stress myself out about trying to fit some Hollywood mold of what sexy is supposed to look like. So I said, no, thank you. You can just give the role to somebody who's 20 pounds less. I don't even think he made that movie. I don't even think that movie got made. Dan says, you may be old, but you're looking young for your age. Why, thank you, Dan. So Lily, what are you telling yourself? So somebody criticizes you. What are you making it mean about yourself? That's what's making you cry. What they said is not making you cry. What you're making it mean about yourself is what's making you cry. So if someone says you're not smart or you'll never be a pharmacist because you don't understand whatever, they said that, okay, somebody said. You make it mean, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm a failure, I'm never going to succeed in life, I won't be able to do the family business, people are going to look down on me, I won't be like the other people in my family, I may always have to live at home, I may never be able to live on my own if I'm not smart enough to get this job, then I'm going to be a failure, then I'm not going to be able to buy the expensive name brand clothes, then I'm not going to attract the man who would want to marry me, and it goes on and on and on and on and on, and we make up this whole scenario, and that's what has us crying. Not that someone said you're not smart enough to get that job. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay, I'm over my limit. I'm over the hour. I gotta get ready for church. I love you guys. I gotta pick up Eli. He had a slumber party last night with his godmother. Mwah. I hope to see you next week. Make better choices this week. Let's cut out the oil and up the water and the glucose. And we'll see you next week. You tell me how much better you feel next week when you've upped the glucose and cut out the oil. Love you guys.